They're on. Yeah, they're on. Yeah, they're on. And actually, we are live. Um, so I thank everybody for listening. I'm hoping y'all enjoyed the music. I was trying to go old school on y'all.
Well, you know I love that kind of music.
Yeah, I was trying to. I'm hoping I hit the mark. I had music in here that now I can't find, so I just had to throw in some Schoolie D and Tough Crew and all that other stuff. But anyway,
Classic.
yeah, classic. I don't know what we're doing now. I barely understand what half of the people are saying, but I thank y'all gentlemen for coming on. Yeah, I don't know what they say. They be jumping around like, yeah. Like, I don't know what you said before the yeah, but okay, but you got my attention. But I have some awesome guests up in here. I know one of them. Yeah, Mr. Jamal Johnson, founder of SKU Stop Killing Us. And it was such an honor to have you come back on to be my guest again. But I don't know the other two gentlemen. So if you can kindly introduce yourself.
My name is Derek Brown. I'm from an organization called Real Men Saving Lives LLC. I'm just geared towards trying to save these young men from going to the penitentiary and the graveyard. I'm very passionate and adamant that we can make a change in our communities, this city, and this country about all the senseless and negative violence that goes on every day. We can make a difference. So Real Men Saving Lives is going to make a dent in this city, I promise you.
So even though I know you, Mr. Johnson, our audience may not. So if you don't mind, please introduce yourself.
Jamal Johnson, I wanted to make correction. I began the Stop Killing Us March, but the
Gotcha.
Stop Killing Us organization was being made approximately around the same time. And he and I joined together. That was originated by Reverend Gatewood in North Carolina.
Okay.
I'm involved with quite a few different organizations on different levels, on different things that pertain to us as black people, particularly. The main thing that I'm really adamant about is trying to stop the violence in the streets, and that's what Stop Killing Us is about. We have a march every year, every August. This will be the third year, from Philadelphia to D.C., and we take it straight to the door of the Congressional Black Caucus or anybody who can instill some legislation to make it universal through the whole country so that the police would think twice before they shoot one of us down.
Hmm.
And
Hi, my name is Joel Say, and I am the CEO of the Jarrell Christopher Say Love and Laughter Foundation.
oh, love and laughter.
Love and Laughter Foundation.
You seem to be doing a lot of both.
And so our goal is uniting communities and connecting families while helping to protect our children through gun violence prevention and safety and education. And so we started this. My son Jarrell was shot and killed 2011 on Easter Sunday on my front porch in front of me. And so, you know, that day is coming up 8 years now. And so at first we started, everybody came and brought their guns. And we wanted to retaliate because I didn't know what to do. So instead of that, I asked God for the strength to direct me and help me to do something big. And he did that by turning my hat all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
And I got out and started praying with the police, the Muslims, the Jews, and everybody else. All of a sudden, I'm a prayer warrior out of nowhere from wanting to kill everybody. And God could change your heart when you really deep down and when you really want to make a change in life and you know it's wrong. I got all this other family. My son is dead, not knowing what to do. This never happened to me. So I know how a lot of these fathers and mothers are feeling out here right now. They want to kill something. But we got to turn that anger into strength, positive. So we call it the Love and Laughter Foundation because that's what we got from my son Jarrell was love and laughter. So that's why I turned it around, and that's what we try to do. We go into the schools and we teach gun safety. I teach black history in the schools. Our children need to know their history. You know, I go to all the marches. I'm affiliated with just about every anti-violence group in the city. I have marched with everybody. And so, you know, you try to do all these different things, and then you got to tone it back down and pick out what your organization is going to, you know, really run with. So what we do now is go into the schools and talk to the young people. I'm trying to save the younger generation as they grow into this.
Yes.
We got to be on both sides of this. We got to be in the schools talking to the young ones as they're growing up, watching those. And then we got to have those brothers working in the jails. We got to have those brothers right there in the middle, in the streets. When we see them brothers in the street, going down the street, mad dog, crazy, we got to say, come here, brother, what's wrong? We can't be afraid of our babies. We can't be afraid of children. You know, they want us to be afraid, but we run these streets. We still own these streets. Look, I'm 67 years old, and I tell these cats, I still run these streets, man. You're not going to do that in front of me. You're going to respect me.
It's funny you say that because I just started a mentoring program at Barry School.
Yeah.
And I've been mentoring the older males there, and those older males there are off the hook. The 7th, 8th graders, 13 and 14 years old, man, carrying guns, selling drugs, getting high. And they don't have a solid and belief system that believes they can be okay. I also work at the juvenile detention center, man, where they stand for non-existent virtues. At this young age, they don't believe that life is worth living, right? I myself was a victim of gun violence, right? And I was a pretty decent basketball player, had a chance to do some things. I got shot down, and as a result of me getting shot down, I turned to the streets. I turned to the streets, and so I'm real passionate and real adamant, right? And I know these gentlemen sitting here with me are too, that we can make a difference. We can make a change, man. We just have to not be scared to approach them and let them listen. Last Tuesday, I was in front of Bartram High School with Senator Williams, and we signed a Pledge for Peace agreement that we're going to go to all parts of this city, man, and we're going to try to quell the senseless gun violence and negativity throughout the city of Philadelphia. It's at epidemic proportions, and something has to be done about it, man. And it's going to take us. It's going to take us. I was in a barbershop a few weeks ago, and a guy was talking. I was talking about how I'm trying to help the youth stop all this senseless. And he said, "Man, I don't have nothing to say to those young guys." And I said, "Man, if everybody takes that stance, right, we ain't going to never get nothing accomplished." Right. I said, "But the minute something happens, you want to be reactive." Right, you want to be reactive, right? Instead of we want to be proactive. We want to try to stop it before it happens, right? But the minute something happens to one of your family members, then you want to do a march. How about stay in the streets, not just get in the street when something happens. Let's stay in the streets. Let's stay in the schools. Let's stay in the playgrounds. Let's touch every part of the city, man, and put a positive impact in every part of the city. And I believe we can do it.
Now that's interesting you said that because I did a Facebook post, and I wanted to know out of all these, and I'm not taking anything away from the crossing guards. That's not what I'm saying. All of these community leaders who are out here claiming to have these programs to help benefit our youth. I'm not saying I'm not seeing you all. I'm just saying I'm not seeing you all. There are 4 corners per block. There's a crossing guard there. How come you're not there? At least be there. Be present every other, corner. Be there so the children can see you. It cuts down on these shootings. It cuts down on this drug transaction. It cuts down on this human trafficking.
Just having a presence.
Can I address this? And I'm not saying take anything from the cross guard. Let them do their job, but be present so these children can feel a little safe coming from and going to school. I get it. Y'all have jobs, but not everyone is working morning shift. Not everyone is working.
Well, let me say that I addressed this at a meeting we had the other day, probably about 2 weeks ago, at the. This is the first time I was invited. I was invited by a police officer, G. LeVar Stewart, and he's pretty involved in the community trying to get things done. And at that meeting, my question was, how come after the meeting we don't hit the streets? Because while we go home and go back in the house, the kids are coming out, right, to do their mischief or do whatever they're going to do, their deadly duties for the night. Okay, so I proposed that also during the month of February, he and I and others from his church, I believe, stood on a corner in Philly, a different corner, a different part of the city, every day for the month of February. And what we did is we walked up to the brothers, the young brothers that were on the corners, and we offered them jobs, job opportunities that were guaranteed as long as they took the initiative and filled out the paperwork where we told them to go. And some of them brothers actually came at the time appointed and got employed. And, you know, my son is one of them. So I'm saying, I understand what you're saying, and I also agree that's a strategy, one of many, but it's definitely one that needs to be implemented, because I think our absence in the community, black men,
Yes.
older black men, our absence in the community is one of the reasons why things aren't turning around. I come from the House of Umoja. People from Philly know House of Umoja. Some do, some don't. That used to be like a boys' home.
Yeah.
Sister Falaka, David Fatah. We just had a David Fatah Peace Weekend with some brothers, including a brother Bilal Qayyum. And during that time, we were trying to get young brothers off the street, turning guns, whatever. The thing I'm trying to say is, we took it to the street back in the 70s. You know, we had a no gang war in 74, stay alive in 75, so we could stop the gang wars going on in Philly. So it's not like this thing hasn't been done before.
It can be done.
Okay, there's hardly anything new under the sun. All we got to do is come up from under the cover and get on out in the street.
Yes.
That's what I believe. I agree with you totally, and I'm all for it. And anybody into it, let me know.
I believe that we have a unified umbrella. Like, we all have our different entities,
Sure.
right? Different organizations, but I believe we come under a coalition, a unified. So when your organization is doing something, I come support you. When
Right,
his organization is doing, I come support him. And if we bring some unity instead of keeping these separate entities and try to do it alone, we need to come together as one, because that's how we're gonna quell this senseless violence. I remember, y'all old enough to remember. Y'all remember crisis intervention with
Oh
Benny
yeah,
Swan?
Benny Swan.
They
Oh,
made
yeah.
a dent in the homicide rate in Philadelphia.
Yes, he did. Yes,
Right,
he
they
did.
made a dent, right?
remember that.
But when that when that was no longer existence, no one took the baton. No one took the mantle. That's where I come in. Like, listen, man. Every day I see young men with no hopes, no dreams, no aspirations. That's what we coming in. There's a better way.
I agree.
You don't have to die. You don't have to go to the penitentiary. There's young men going to the penitentiary doing outrageous sentences at very young ages. Have never been nowhere, have never lived. Right? We can stop this, man, but we got to have guys, men like us, and men that don't think things can be done. We need to tell them, listen, man, take your head from one out the sand. Let's make this happen.
I agree. And I think the other thing we need to do is we got to make sure we compliment the women, because, frankly, they're the ones that's been in the front line. Okay, I know this for a fact because I see more women out there, even during the month of February, with more women on the corners that we went to than there were men. You know, and I understand that. Okay, but I do know there's brothers out there doing their job. There's not a lot and enough of us out there doing it.
I think it is. It's just that y'all not being seen and or being heard. Like, now I do know, I can vouch for Mr. Jamal. He does walk around with his shirt on, so we do know, okay, what that is. Even if we don't know exactly what it stands for, it's enough to say, okay, hey, what is
Yes.
that? Okay, but a lot of y'all have these organizations. We don't even know who you are. You walk amongst us as if you are us, and we can't distinguish you from the
I
other.
agree.
So here's the thing: you have to make yourself. We hear it all the time. Oh, there's no programs up here. There's no, because we don't know about it. No one's advertising. Nobody's talking about it. Your presence again has not been. So let me go back just a little bit. I had this was it 2 years now?
Oh, well,
Like 2 years ago.
yeah.
2 years
Tennessee?
ago, I had we were on the other side of this station, and I had a group of men come on, and the topic was the lack of black love in the hood. I get it. I got it. Baby mama drama. I just got out of jail. Here she go. If I don't get my money, you know I'm going to. I got the PO talking about some. You don't get. I get that. I gotta sell some drugs. I'm not condoning it, but I get it. But the thing is, like he said, the women on the front line, and I asked that question because at one time it was the men, and then it was the ladies, and of course the children because they were yeah. But now there's the women holding the front line, and I'm trying to figure out where are the men at? Where are you? Because you like are all over the place when you shouldn't be. You're supposed to be holding us down, or us meaning the black brown community, us women down, and we should be holding you up and our children.
It's funny you say that. A few weeks back, I spoke at Alliance for Progress Charter School at Broad Master. It was a program called Dads and Donuts, where the fathers would come out and they attended a ceremony with their children, sons and daughters. And I spoke, and it was well received, but I stepped on the dad's toes. I said, a lot of you dads only here right now because the child begged you and the mother said you need to go, right? But y'all not here consistently. How about when this program is over, right? Are you going to go to practice with them? Are you going to go to the after school, pick them up from the after school program? Are you going to go help them with their homework? Are you going to be a constant presence? Negate the fact that you and the mom don't get along. I got to push that to the side. The fathers are needed in their children's life because, like he said, like Mr. Jamal said, the women are holding the families together, and they have a strenuous and tumultuous job, and they can't do it alone. The men need to take up the mantle where they're supposed to be. I myself, man, you know, I was thank God that I had the kind of family that when I was messing up, kept my children in the mix. Right, so I was able to be around my children, able to see my children, right, and I have a great relationship with them right now, right. But the men need to step up and stop worrying about, you know, I don't get along with the mom. You need to make sure you get along with that mother for the sake of those children, because that's where a lot of this goes wrong. No man in the house, no father figure.
No, now I'm not. Now, here we go. We're going to bash some of these ladies. Or matter of fact, I'm going to bash some of these because I've been talking about it a lot on Facebook. A lot of these ladies are using these children as pawns. And then you're coming up saying, hey, they're deadbeat dads. They're not doing sugar honey iced tea for my child, when that's a lie. I'm not going to defend all, but I'm going to defend the ones who are trying to make an effort. But you have the ladies who decide for whatever reason, he decided he wanted to move on. He doesn't want to be bothered with you, or for whatever reason he's tired of your bull crap, or he now had another family, and now you want to use these children as pawns, and you need to stop that. The only person you're hurting is the child. More or less. Well, more or less, the child eventually will grow up. If they see some consistency, you're only hurting yourself. So to all the ladies out here who are using these children as pawns, please, you need to stop. Because I talk about this a lot. I touch on this a lot on my Facebook page because I see it a lot, and I really don't approve of it. Moving forward, so I have these 3 young men in here. Anyone wants to call in Q&A. Phone line is 484-477-6348. You can check them out on phillyhotradio.com. Please, gentlemen, proceed with your conversation.
Now, let me jump in. Let me get some of this. We talking about the young ladies. Let's talk about the young ladies that have a spell on our young boys. And when they tell them to go kill, them boys go and do stuff. We got to encourage them to tell them brothers to do right. We have to lift our young sisters up and tell them how important they are to our community and the lives of our young men out here. I mean, that's one of the things. It's so many different things. When we talk about brothers not being on the front line, there's many brothers on the front line today. But the whole thing is, we must come together.
Yes.
That's our weakness in our community, and it always has been, and it will be until we do come together.
I think that anybody that's hearing us right now should reach out somewhere, somehow, and we should, in some way today, make an initiative to establish a phone book, a list, something of every organization that's out here doing what we claim we're trying to do, so that we can meet together, a directory, so we can all meet, hopefully in one place, and try to talk about this thing and use everybody's strategies to combat this problem. Because one group is not going to do this. No. There's no way in the world one group is going to do this. And I know for a fact that the ones who aren't with us could possibly use what we have, and we can use what they have to get this thing done.
We got to go back to the old mantra, it takes a village. You know, and to segue back what I spoke on about before, we need to form a coalition, like you're speaking of.
I agree.
Where all the different groups, the different entities come together on a regular basis to meet to say, well, what needs to be done in that part of the city? Well, what do we count? How we help you over here? What can we put together right now? I think that we need to be a presence throughout the summer, the winter, the fall, the spring. It's because I see a lot of groups start up and then they fall to the wayside. Right? They start up like a house on fire, and I refuse to be like that. I refuse. They start up and they fall to the wayside, and then things just get out of hand again, out of hand. You know what I'm saying? We need to be consistent.
Yeah,
that's
they do.
The issue, consistency.
Because you and I spoke, I'm sorry, but you and I had spoke, and we're going to touch on that again. You're not trying to take away, and I think that's what other people sort of kind of are trying to gather from this, is that when you reach out to other organizations and say, hey, you know what, I'm overseer of Real Men Saving Lives LLC. I want to do some stuff with you. That first thought is, okay, you're trying to dismantle my organization, and that's not what they're trying to do. Yeah, let's just collaborate. You can keep your own, you know, just like block parties. You have people from all over come together and they organize together. But I don't understand why other organizations refuse to say, Then you shaking your head.
You know what I'm talking. You know what I'm thinking.
I know what he's thinking about too.
But it's kind of sad because
there's
there's
everybody.
for
There's
everybody.
enough problems out here for everybody to do something.
Everybody.
Everybody.
And that's the thing. That's what we're just trying to get people to understand, that there's ample room. We're not trying to dismantle you. We're just saying let's just join forces, because at some point in time, we are literally dying out here. We are dying out here. And by the time we decide to wake up, it's going to be too late, because there won't be any of us to help defend us.
And I know this is basically a Philly-based program here, but I have to admit, I kind of extend past Philly, and it includes Philly. But when I do the march every year with the other people who Stop Killing Us march, we integrate with the communities from here all the way to D.C. Okay? And we touch bases with people who have lost people to gun violence by our communities and the police. But the thing is, we feel their pain, they feel our pain here in Philly.
An organization called Saving Our Sons from Owens Mills, Maryland, near Baltimore, has reached out to me already to collaborate with me.
Great.
I put stuff on Facebook. Listen, I know, and Uncle Joe knows what I'm saying, that you can make a change. Because I was a piece of work. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not bragging about, I'm not glamorizing, but I was a piece of work, man. And I know that if I can make a change, I know I can get somebody else to see that they can make a change. These young men are confused, misguided, and we just spoke about earlier before the show started. They don't have no real old heads. I had an old head to say, man, stop that, Cloud. Uncle Joe, other guys from the Moon Gang tell me don't do that. Man, they were doing it like, listen, I might have made a choice to do something wrong when they wasn't around, but they guided me. They tried to give me the path to take that they were not to take that they were taking. But they don't have no real. A kid, so he's 17, told me his old head 19. That ain't your old head, that's your peer. They don't have nobody to guide them. You 17, he's 19. You're on the same age, but that's your peer. What can he teach you? What can he give you as far as life experience is concerned? What can he give you? They don't have that, man. And listen, man, I'm so tired of riding through the city and seeing corners with all these bears and balloons and this and that and the other, man. It can stop. We could get a handle on it. We could put our arms around it. We could love these kids back to believing they could be something, man. And that's what it takes.
And we need to understand something too. The politicians have got to help.
They got.
We cannot think that this is going to be done without the politician. Anybody that don't want to vote, or anybody that think there's some kind of contradiction in voting and being black, I'm telling you wrong. We have got to be in what's going on with Philadelphia. We got to be able to get Mayor Kenny and all of them to give us what we need to get our kids off them streets, and that means jobs. Senator
Williams, right? I got a phone call last week from Tracy Fisher from Gateway to Reentry, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was my brother-in-law. He's married to 2 sisters, and he says, "Derek, man, you're doing some good work." He said, "I need you to be here when it was a Tuesday last week." Senator Williams came out, and I said we signed a Pledge for Peace placard, and with different organizations like us came together, and we made a pledge that through this summer and ongoing, that we're gonna put some peace back in this city. And then I had a meeting with them Sunday, and we want to touch all the playgrounds in different areas: Germantown, Brickyard, West Philly, North Philly, South Philly. We need to go to those playgrounds, and we need to tell them, listen, we want to come in. We want to have a presence in this playground. We want to be able to come in this playground and put on an event. We want to come in this playground and organize different events, stop the violence, save our youth. I'm really trying to put together a youth breakfast. You know what I mean? Where I can get 50 to 100 kids from different places to come out and bring them, so we can hear guys like me and other guys tell them our story and say, listen, this is what you're going to get if you do this, but this is what you'll get if you do this. We gotta show them a better way. We gotta really show them a better way. And I have some experience with it, and I just know that we can make a difference, man. I can't say it enough that we can make a difference.
And I'm listening to you, and I'm thinking about one thing, what she said earlier: crossing boundaries. Mm-hmm. I really believe we have got to harp on the fact, just like when I go to a city, I try to reach out to those community groups before I get there, because I don't want to rain on their parade. I don't want them to think I have no respect for what they're doing in their communities. Mm-hmm. And the same goes here in Philly, because there's some locally based groups that deal just in their area. And, we want to make sure we reach out to them brothers and sisters and say, look, can we do this? And would y'all mind joining us to do this? Instead of showing up, and then just doing our thing, and then they like, oh, we've been here. It does leave some bad feelings sometimes, and I really wish we could, minimize that drama.
It's like you said, there's enough activism for everybody.
Yes,
you know?
it is.
There is.
There's enough problems for all of us to collaborate to get a handle on it.
No doubt.
Because if something doesn't materialize, that we, like I said, we have an umbrella or coalition where all the groups come together on a consistent basis, well, we're gonna continue to fight an uphill battle, right? And then we got to get the people that think can't be a change to get them on the thought process that we have, that there can be a change. Because there's a lot of people that think there can't be a change. There's a lot of people say, "Oh, it ain't nothing gonna change." That's a very negative attitude, man, to believe that nothing can change.
But nothing will change as long as they
If you
keep
have that
in their
attitude.
mind.
But you gotta find out who and what they're listening to when they're not listening to us.
Right.
Because there's something motivating them to do what they do,
To not
and that's
listen
what
to us.
entertains them to tell them it's okay to do it, where we're not telling them it's not. So when we're not speaking to them, somebody is.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, some of the voices they're hearing, I hear them, I don't like them, and we need to drown them out.
I can because you have a platform. And I'm gonna utilize my platform the same way I do with social media. I think all these people that have these organizations, quote unquote, for our youth, that are not utilizing them to the fulfillment that they need to be doing, I think you just need to step aside, get rid of the title, because there are some people out here just having these organizations and they just want to boast and brag that I've done something. There's no love, there's no passion behind it. It's just I've done something and that's it. And that's taken away from someone who's actually dying because they're looking at you thinking, oh my gosh, you have an honest program when you're just full of crap. Basically, as that is, I try not to touch on people's toes when I say that, but
I don't care. Step on their toes. 'Cause a lot of people get financial stipends that help the organization and don't use it for the right
reason.
Down at 5 o'clock at night, when this is a 24/7 thing.
It needs to be
Activism is a 24/7 job. If you ain't about this life, move out of the way, please, because we got to do this.
Listen, man, a couple Sundays ago, and this I'm not scared. I put it up on Facebook. I'm driving to work, and I see this Jeep pull up. 4 youth between the ages of 15 and 17 jump on, start beating on another youth. I swing around, making you try to jump out my car. I said, stop. So they were getting ready to proceed, but when they see I was just as serious as stopping them as they was continuing, and they said, oh, he's a pretty big guy. They looked at me, and I said, y'all not going to do this to him, right? And they got their car and they drove off. Now, I put him in my car, and I took him home. He had a concussion and a few other injuries. But listen, say I wasn't there, or say I would have kept driving. What would have happened? They would have killed him.
Yeah, we do that.
But I stopped. I didn't even think twice about it. Because I know that's the neighborhood I grew up in, and I'm just tired of seeing the people die. I'm just tired. And I'm tired of seeing the people die throughout the city. These young men are dying senseless and unnecessary deaths. Senseless and unnecessary.
So you're kind of on the quiet side, and I wanted to hear some more about your involvement in the community. You know, what is your next step in the community? Because again, we are literally out here dying, and we need to hear from you.
All right, so my next step in the community is I'm calling on 10,000 Philadelphia brothers, men from Philadelphia, to stand up. I want the Muslim brothers, I want the Christian brothers, put down your Bibles and your Qurans, and let's step together. Let's save our children. I want to network, 10,000 men networking across this city. When I call you there, if not all of them, half of them, and that's enough power to make a change. That's as far as supporting one another's efforts. Whatever we're doing, we got support. We call on each other. I mean, this is. I know this can work. When Minister Farrakhan called 1 million men in Washington, brothers flew down there. Everybody wanted to. I saw it. I saw brothers lifted up. I was there that day, and I saw brothers in unity, in the spirit of one. We was one that
But
day.
he wanted us not to leave there, go back home to do the same thing.
He said, go back.
We would go back
the
and
community center, join the mosque, join the church. He said, join whatever, but come together.
that didn't last.
How long did it last?
It didn't
It
last.
lasted for about a month or so.
We was all hyped, and then we went back to sleep.
We went back. We left with their passion. We looked at our stuff and was like, oh God. You know, I gotta chisel this mountain, and I'm tired at
there was
first.
no program for accountability.
No.
See, that's the problem in our community. We have no accountabilities going on for anything and everything that's going on with us. And until we start holding each other accountable for what we say and what we do, then nothing's going to change. Because they are those young boys out there, they're holding us accountable.
Yes, they're looking at you.
The first thing come out their mouth is, y'all wasn't there for us.
You know
I
what
hear
the
it
young
all
boys
the
say? You know what
time.
they say?
Yeah.
Like, you start off with them right, and then you taper off, so they lose trust in you.
Yep.
They lose belief in you.
That's
You
right.
start off saying you're going to help them, and then all of a sudden you're not there for them no more. So they don't trust you.
No.
They continue doing the negative things they're doing, right? Because you start off like, okay, we're going to help them get jobs. We're going to get some job training. Look, everybody don't want to go to college. I get it.
Yeah.
Right? I get it. But we need to listen, it's so hard for them getting to them unions now, right? They got to go through so much red tape to get through the union, get into the unions before you go through OIC and all that stuff to get in the unions, right? We don't have nothing to teach. We got to be able to teach these young men something, right? And we got to be consistent, because the minute you taper off from them and then you try to go back at them, like, man, I don't trust you.
You
that
told me
day
you
You told me you was going to be there for me. You're not there for me.
Yep.
And so, you know,
And that's how
If
it
I could
goes.
really quickly interject,
Yeah.
I would really like us, and I keep in my mind as I'm hearing us talk, this conversation we're having needs to be amongst those of us who are doing what we do, more so than the people who are listening to us. Because the people who are listening to us are saying, okay, y'all think y'all might have some of the solutions, then go and do them so we can stop burning our kids. My thing is, we need to find a way and dedicate this time to bringing all of us together. That means emphasizing that we need to exchange numbers, not just us three, even the people on the other end that might listen to us. You know, call somebody. You know, there's some names, there's some numbers, you can call this radio station or whatever, but we gotta connect together. And I think that needs to be the emphasis of our conversation today, is connecting together in a respectful way to get this thing done.
And I believe that wholeheartedly, man. I believe that if we come about with a unified front, right? Because, like, I agree with you, the people that are doing what we're doing need to be hearing this more so than the people that are on the other end. That's why I say we need to form a coalition, some kind of thing that we meet on a regular basis. Say, okay, Real Men Saving Lives is doing this. This organization is doing that. What can we do collectively, right, and separately to help quell what's going on right now?
Because again, they're not trying to dismantle anybody's organization. We're not trying. What they're trying to do is say, okay, let's partner up and do something collectively, but you can still maintain your own identity. They're not trying to take anything to steal your ideas, you know, utilize them and take credit for them. They're just trying to find ways to get us meaning our black and brown people, to stop killing each other, to find alternative measures to keep our children alive. Because truth be told, they are our future.
Yes.
And as parents, we have to remember that we are responsible for our children. So we got to go in and search them rooms. We got these boys out here, and we know our boys is walking the line. They're good some days, but we know they up on the corner too. So we got to go check them drawers. We got to check them drawers. We got to find their guns, take their guns. We got to disarm them. Our young boys is out here strapped.
Easy to get a gun today.
They out here strapped because they tell me that they scared to walk the streets. You know what I mean? And they said, Uncle Joe, what you gonna do, man? I said, man, put the gun down. They said, you must be crazy. What? They might kill me out here. But then you ask them again. They said, well, look, Uncle Joe, I don't feel as though I'm gonna live to be 24.
They don't
That's
believe
sad.
They don't believe it.
I don't really care. And so our hope is gone. And you say, wow, man, how did you get to feel like that? And it's these little circles that they be in. They leave out the house and they go into this little boo-hoo circle, man, and they just waiting to die.
So they think I'm ancient. They think I'm
So what you think they think I am?
Yeah, they think I'm ancient.
Because you don't understand.
Because
you just don't understand.
They don't believe that they're going to live past 21 or get to 25. They have such what's the word? A pessimistic outlook on life. Is just sad. It's so sad. Listen, man, what made me proud, and I got to say this, man, is that a week ago, my 27-year-old son called me and said, Dad, I want to help you. He said, Dad, I want to help you. I mean, so I'm going to start taking him with me when I do stuff, because he said, I want to help you, because he has you know what I mean, he's been through a few things in life, man, and he's a good kid. And I said, man, they need to see that. They need to see that your dad wasn't there in the beginning. right? I wasn't there. And then we rekindled and rebuilt our relationship. And this is what happens when fathers come back in their children's lives. You could be a positive influence in their life. I have a good relationship with my son now. That's because I turned it around. So suppose I didn't. He didn't make, he might have made 1 or 2 bad decisions, but nothing that sent him to the penitentiary, nothing that sent him to the graveyard. So in the beginning, when I was out there getting high, selling drugs, carrying guns, getting locked up, all that stuff, and I wasn't around, right? But we have rekindled that. That's something that them boys need to see, that anything can happen on a positive nature. If you just have some decision, make one good decision, can turn into another good decision, can turn into another good decision. One negative decision can cost you your life.
And a lot of young brothers, I think, today need to realize we had our own challenges coming up. We may not be going through what they're going through, but we had our own way of acting like they're acting today. You know what I mean? There were places in Philly you couldn't even go without getting killed, like, you know, back in the gang war days. So it's not like we don't understand the trauma. Like a lot of people talk about trauma, and they say trauma is why a lot of black kids kill each other. Well, we had trauma, you know, and we're not killing each other right now, so obviously we did something to get to this point in our life, and we want to share that with them. But we have to let them see that we do understand, because I think it's getting to a point with this generation where they think we are so out of touch, and we don't have a clue where they're coming from. And we know exactly where they're coming from. And that's why, one reason why I marched to the Congressional Black Caucus, because those political people down there come from here. They come from the hood. So they know what we're going through. So we're saying, look, help us out. You know, help us out on your level. But back to us, we got to remind these kids, man, that, like personally, I don't wear a suit. I never wear a suit. Everybody say bye.
I'm dressed like that.
Yeah, I don't wear a suit because once I step to them in a suit, I'm probably a PO to them.
Yeah.
You know, I'm up there.
Undercover cop.
Yeah, undercover cop. So my thing is like, look, I'm out here on the street. You want me, I'm out here. Come on out here with me. Oh, you ain't gonna come here? Okay, I'm coming to you.
No,
Either
funny.
way, we're gonna touch.
It's funny you said, you know what why they listen to me? They see my tattoos.
Right.
They see the kind of sneaks I wear. They see the jeans I wear.
You're
So
coming
I
in.
get 'em.
You're coming in representing you, like you look like me.
Yeah,
You know, it's easy. It's hard for someone. I had a lady was trying to tell me about how to raise my children. I'm sitting up here. Do you have any? She was like, no. So it's easy for you to tell me what you would do when you're not home every day with the child. It's easy for me to tell you what to do or what not to do if I don't know what it's like to be an alcoholic. So how am I going to tell you put that bottle down? You know, like, how am I going to tell you not to use that drug? How am I going to tell you what?
You can still tell them.
But I can still tell them, but I have no idea what it. But it's easy for me when I don't have that thing gnawing at my flesh. Like, you know, you want that. Like, it's easy for me to say, hey, I don't want that. Okay, because I don't drink. I don't have those issues. It's easy for somebody the outside who's not familiar with the inside to tell y'all what to do. If you're not one of us, how are you going to tell us how to control us or how to help us? We need people like us.
Just to touch base on that, man. You know what I mean? I was just telling him I haven't ingested a mild-altered mood-changing chemical in over 15 years. But a lot of these young men and women are addicts and alcoholics and don't even know it. If you get up in the morning and you smoke 2
Gotta
blunts,
have that drink.
take a couple perks, then before you get to school, you smoke a couple more blunts. Then you skip out of class and smoke a couple more blunts. Then after school, you smoke a couple. You got a problem. That's part of the issue right there too. That's part of the issue.
We'll have one very soon.
Oh, we'll have one. Also, what I like to say is that some of the guys that I used to fight with, different neighborhoods, that we grew up to be friends now. You know what I mean? We grew up to be friends now, and they calling me on the phone, Cloud. How come they need to see that we used to gang war each other, we used to fight each other, but now we cool. You know what I mean? They need to see that. Man, there's such a wide range and plethora of things that we need to address in order for us to get a hold of this thing. But one of the things that Mr. Jamal said is that the people that really need to hear that is the people that's doing what we do. They need to come out, and if you're not going to be consistent, right, they need to get out the way.
That's right.
Because, you need to get out the way. Because some people come in and they just want, like she said, I did something. But what are you doing now? And that's the key. Like, you know what I mean? Since your incident with your family, you've been consistent. I know firsthand. You've been consistent, right? I had a rally in Charles Park in 2014. I haven't stopped yet.
We haven't stopped either. And on the 23rd of, let me put this in, 23rd of April, we're going to Dare Off School, my organization, the Jarrell Safe Foundation, and we're going to welcome the children in for the SSAT test, the test that's coming up. And all the schools is gonna be on the 23rd. So I encourage every black man that got the time to come out in the morning and go encourage them children to do good on their tests. Let's start showing up. Let's show them what their fathers and grandfathers and the men of the community look like. Let's encourage our youth. And then we're gonna call in our young boys and say, come on, follow us to encourage your brothers and sisters. Half of these boys out here shooting got kids. We gotta get it in their head. That could be your baby. We gotta make it visual for them. We have to. Children need to see the black man standing again.
Yes.
And
You know
the first day of school, this current school year, right? It was a call for men to come, assist, walk the kids to school, be in front of school. When I was in front of Overbrook High School, you know how many guys showed up? Me, my brother used to play ball with him, Alan Higgins, and another. It was 3 guys that showed up. And when the kids was coming up, we said, pull your pants up, man, have a good day. The dressed young lady, you know what I mean, don't cuss. And we was telling them, we was encouraging them to start the school year on the pot. But imagine if 50 men were in front of that school that morning.
That's right.
It was 3 of us.
That's right.
3 of us. And it was put out there weeks ago that we needed to be in each school, in each area of the city. And in Overbrook High School, only 3 men, me, myself, and 2 other gentlemen.
We need more of that.
We need that network. That's why.
Yep.
Because believe it or not, there are things happening in the city I don't even hear about, and I think I'm connected to some people. And I'm like, wow, y'all did that? We need to set up a network so that we know what everyone else is doing.
I don't want
and
to
how
step
we can
on
be a
no,
part of
but
it.
I'm going to tell you what, and I know Curtis Jones well, right?
And this
I
is
know
district.
Curtis Jones well, right?
Yeah.
And Curtis, and I had in the interview,
So
in the beginning, I had no problem with him, right? But he spoke to me on Dunlap Street and said, "Cloud, you know me." He said, "If you need me, I'm gonna be there." Right? He's a little older than me. Went to Brook before me from Winfield and all that, right? And I said, "Carl, all we need to feel your presence." He said, "All you gotta do is let me know and I'm gonna come." He said, "Let me know I'm gonna come."
Yeah,
and I could feel the sincerity when he said that. You know, he said, "Let me know I'm gonna come." So when it's time to call on him, I'm gonna call on him.
And there's a lot of other people I think really want to be involved that just don't know.
They just don't know. That's the thing. We don't know what's out here.
Something in this city for all of these groups.
But what we don't, and I see it, cause I have connections to Wilmington, Delaware, and it was kind of interesting. There was Wilmington Peacekeepers. So I had my orange on, and it's election time, and I forgot it was election time. It was nearing election time. And normally I'm always taking pictures with people, but I didn't do it this time because the cameras were rolling, and the people that showed up should not have, in my eyes, should not have been there for the cameras because it wasn't your moment. So someone took offense that I didn't want to take a picture with them because it wasn't your moment. This was peacekeepers giving back to the community. You wanted to showboat, take some pictures, hand out some stuff as if you was about that life, and you wasn't about that. And if you'd have came the day before, it was cool. But you don't come on the day when somebody's trying to do something. And that's what, like, some of these organizations, they just want to show up just to say, I was a part of it. That's it.
So when it's election time,
just like some of these elected officials.
But I think they'll weed out over time, because when we start calling them up after 5 and saying, look, we're going to hit a corner, are you coming with us or not? And they don't show up enough, they're going to stop coming around us.
But you know, I think one of the things we can't overemphasize with all of the formal organizations, which is essential, that's vitally important, with all of the structured, formatted activities, which is essential, vitally important, is men in the community and women being men and women in the community. You know, because sometimes we think that people don't, the youngsters don't see it, and I think the problem with our youth is the problem with our adults. I think that's our main problem, because we're not present and we're not active. But you may be surprised, like someone said something about suits. Oh, trust me, they watching the guys in suits, so they like they don't hear them. They watch that man going to work. They watch that man going to work every day. They watch that sister coming home, you know, and she don't have 4 or 5 baby daddies and et cetera. She's doing her thing. They may not say anything because it ain't cool in their circle to say, but they have an admiration. I got an uncle today. To today, he's like an icon, and he was like a legend in West Philly. But that was one of the hardest working men. Raised his daughter by himself, single black dad. When you know back in the day when. And was a Mac daddy extraordinaire, but he took care of his business. Went to school at night, worked during the day, took care of his daughter throughout the whole time, etc. And it may not look like because he wasn't running the streets, that he wasn't cool. Nobody listened to him. Man, he raised almost every male child in the house, and everybody looked up to him. So and he wasn't a part of any organization I knew of. He wasn't a part of, even though I'm not saying anything against that, but men got to be men, and they are watching, and that's the thing. And that's why don't try to be like them, because they know. See, that's not genuine. But just be you.
That's right.
And they see it. You know, truth is going to stand out against falsehood. Truth is going to stand out. You know, one of the things I admire about people is, like, as soon as I see somebody talking like me and acting like me and they not me, now I'm seeing fake. You're not me. You look like me, you talk like me, something's wrong. Because you're not me. You're not me. So who are you for real? And then maybe we can talk. And it's that genuineness that just being who you are, getting up every day, going to work, shoveling snow. I remember some of my neighbors when I was a kid running the streets, buck wild. But I remember them going home. You know, these were the men in the community. Right. We didn't have the term old heads, but back
you
then.
know, back then, you know, if you was doing something wrong, your neighbor could get you and take you home, and you get it again. That's non-existent right now.
That's not
That's
the whole
non-existent
culture
right now.
changed.
You know, there's the whole
They might get shot.
because now if you
go
chastise,
past
if you
my kid,
chastise
might
somebody's
get shot.
child, you know what I mean? The parent gonna want to fight you for chastity, and the child could be dead wrong. You know, so that's a loss.
See, and that's the cultural shift. See, something happened collectively. Something happened collectively that now it became inculcated in our culture, and it transformed the culture, not for the best, but for the worst. You know, it denigrated our communities. And somehow we have, if it's our culture, we have to fight for it.
I think we got scared. I think a lot of people got scared of our kids.
That's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons.
One of the main reasons.
But there are others.
Our parents wasn't scared of us.
No, they weren't.
No.
And the other thing
But we
I
didn't have guns.
And the other thing I wanted to say real quick
I didn't
was
have
that I
guns.
think that everybody needs to realize you don't have to join an organization to help. Okay?
No.
You don't have to be in no regimented situation where you feel that you must show or you're obligated. The bottom line is we all need to do this. So even if you hear about another group doing something, even if you want to go for that one time,
Volunteer that
you see
day.
what I'm saying? It's better than doing nothing. We can't solve this problem doing nothing. And I heard guys tell me, man, I ain't going out there marching with them. I ain't going out there staying on no corner.
Yeah.
Them young boys will shoot you. Well, guess what? Sooner or later, they might shoot your kid. They might not shoot you, but you may be burning your own son.
And that's what I
See,
said.
that's what I'm afraid
That's
of.
what I said earlier. Instead of being reactive, being proactive. You know what I mean? If like you said, you don't have to be part of an organization, but just sometimes give your assistance when something, an event is going on. Lend a helping hand.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because the minute something happens to somebody's loved one or family member, then they want to march. They want to do this. They want to do. They want to.
Now they wanna be
talk
involved.
about it. They want to get involved. But how about if you proactive? You can stop some of that from happening.
That's what we're trying to do.
That's what we're trying to do.
And here's most of these youth out here, God, they just need somebody to talk to. They run into the wrong crowd because I need to fit in. I need some. Nobody's not listening to me. Nobody just doesn't understand. And it's not that we don't understand, but no one's hearing it. No one's listening to them. So they turn to the other side, and they just need somebody to grab them. That's all it takes. Most of them just want somebody to just pay attention to them. But we're not. We walk by them. We look at them. How many, let's be honest, you see how many children on the average going to school? How many of y'all actually say hi to these children? Have a good day. Pull your pants up. Tie your shoelaces. Watch yourself crossing the street. How many of y'all actually do that? Like literally, how many of y'all honestly actually because you see on the average, these children going to school and from school, and when holiday comes, they're outside. All of these leaders, honestly, how many of y'all actually take time to say, come here, you don't need to wait until something happens to pull them over. They're right there in your presence. You don't need a specific holiday. They're right there.
Anybody ever pull into the gas station and little kids say, let me pump your gas? That's my end. While they pump up my gas, I'm standing right there with them. I'm right there in case they do something wrong. How you doing in school? You get good grades? You keep good company. That's my end.
That's
I
my
get the.
every day.
Well, how long
Somebody.
it takes them to pump my gas? I have
Does
an
that
opportunity to pour into them and give them some kind of encouragement to do right. What are you doing with the money you give me? I save it. I want to give me a new pair of sneakers. I said,
Right.
this is honest. I said, but when you ask somebody to pump their gas, you got to be respectful.
Right.
You got to be respectful. You got to say yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. And there's one kid. Every time I go to a certain gas station, he sees me, he comes to me, he looks forward to me coming, and every day I pour. Now he tell me last time his last report card he got A's and B's. So something must be happening. All they want somebody is to care about them.
Yes.
That's all they want.
That's
And check in.
vast majority. That's
And
it.
check in.
Yeah, that's it. Just somebody to, to give them words of encouragement that, you know what, I'm busting my behind over here, but no one sees it because at home, I'm lazy, I'm no good, here's the name calling, so.
Which is another thing
And
that
that's
needs to
another
stop,
thing,
'cause
so they
that
take
gets
that
you
outside
self-esteem.
because, and I need grown men like you or ladies to say something positive. It's like, oh my God.
When you said ladies. Did y'all?
Well, I don't have any ladies, but I didn't mean to point at you. I really didn't mean to point that way. But we have, people that just they need somebody to say, okay, just something to acknowledge that they're doing something, because then that thing called pride sets in, and that glow comes up, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm pretty. Like, you think I'm nice looking? Like, oh my God, I'm doing something good. I need that. But
it's a kid that is on my unit at my job. Like I said, I work with adjudicated youth, and he came in and he was very belligerent, contacted, behavior disorder, confrontation, all that stuff, right? And we was on him. Staff was on him. Now he's one of the best. He strives, and we have levels. Now he's a cougar, right? And he's supposed to be getting discharged, and you can see that. When he first got, he said, I'm gonna go back to hustling, I'm gonna go back to carrying gun, I'm gonna come back. Now he's talking about like he wanna go to school, this, that, and that. So even when you have these kind of jobs and these kids, when you deal with these kids, you can't just let it be a paycheck. If you don't take pride in it, because they're gonna leave out, and they might be the same kids, if you don't take care while they're in there, they'll leave out and kill somebody.
Nope.
And also, every one of us got a gift, and every one of us got a story. As we go through our day, if we touch one person, we can get through. And tell that brother, I love you. I tell all the brothers, I tell everybody, I love them. And they look at me, man, this big, I love you back, Uncle Joe. And they give me a hug. I give them a story, man. I tell them how I feel. And they need a story. They need a hug. They need an old head to hug them and love them.
Well,
one time this wasn't me at one time.
Yeah.
God changed me. And for the good, man, so I can share, so I know love, and I can share it. And these boys need to hear a man tell them, I love you, man. Come here, it's going to be all right.
Or even better yet,
Well, I want to say this while we live on the air. This gentleman right here is one of the men that helped me get my life together. He's seen something in me when I was at my lowest, right? And he gave me love, right? He encouraged me. He kept me with him on days. I would work for him. He wouldn't pay me all my money at one time. Come back and get the rest tomorrow. And sometimes you don't get to tell people, but I'm forever grateful that he was a part of my life. And like today, when I talk to young men, I tell them about that story. I tell them about the men that helped me get back on the right path. And that's what they need to hear. They can see. It's ironic that we're sitting here together and we're doing the same thing, but he's one of the reasons why I do what I do.
So let me say thank you, because I didn't want to bump into him or my family bump into him, and we rub him the wrong way, and because of you changing him from the negative to the positive, made us a little bit more safer. We need more like him or like you in our streets because we're lost. Our children are literally, and you know what? Let me stop emphasizing on the children because they're listening like, yo, it's not just us. Right. It's our tall people. It's the tall people.
I came in, I'm hearing a lot about children.
It's the tall people too. Y'all call adults. It's a lot of those too. Yeah, they
need help.
They need help first.
What's fortunate for me is that I work 2 jobs. I work at a juvenile detention center, and at night, 3-4 times a week, I work at a halfway house for the Department of Corrections. On my floor, when that comes home from the state penitentiary, is guys that may have went to jail when they were 17, 18. Now they come home, they're 24, 20. So they're still young. So they're not juveniles, but they're young. So I still get an opportunity to tell them it's not too late for you too. You know what I mean? You don't have to leave out this facility and violate your parole and go back to the penitentiary. You don't got to go out here and carry a gun. Listen, man, I'll be on my job, and they're trying to tell these guys, listen, man, you did that time. Now what you gonna do different? You don't got to go back to the penitentiary.
They really do need that.
You went to jail when you was 18. Now you're 26. You did 5-6 years in jail. You know what I mean? That's some time away from your life. But at 26 years old, I bet you each and every one, if we could be 26 again, we'd take it. That's young. That's a young man.
I don't know if I take it.
I don't know, but I'm just saying that's a young man though, and for a young man at 26 years old to have no hopes, no dreams, no aspirations, just to give up on life, thinks that when he gets when the PO ain't on him, when he walks off his time and he puts his home plan in and he gets separated from the Department of Corrections and he's back being a quote unquote a free man, the only way he can make it is to go back to what he got him in that predicament from the beginning. No, we could stop it.
There's a scripture in the Bible, one of my favorite, always, and it says, "It's iron sharpeneth iron,
Sharpens iron.
so man sharpen man."
Right.
And that's all we got to do is sharpen it. And I guess the question is, who do we sharpen every day? Who do we sharpen? If we not, and again, it's not being anything different than who you are. You don't have to do anything different. I refuse to I remember I used to speak a certain way, and people said, "Man, nobody gonna understand you." And I dumbed down how I spoke, you know. And that's what we do. We dumb down our approach instead of raising up the people around us. And
right.
so now instead of sharpening, I'm getting dull. You know, I'm getting dull. And that's what, as iron sharpens iron, I think if everybody listening to this could just do something to sharpen the people in their community. And we said youth a lot because youth are our most vulnerable segment, but there's also adults. There's adults who are lost. I'm dealing with a 40-year-old man now, 40 plus. He crossed the age of 40, lost as he want to be, lost and twisted. So we got some brothers out there who are in their 30s and in their 40s, and they need to be sharpened. But they choose in their circle other dull people, figuratively speaking. So those of us who've been through some things or know something or have a level of consciousness, you don't have to be in the system to have develop the level of consciousness. It's incumbent upon us now to start sharpening everybody around us. You know, that's our job. People ask, well, what can I do? The problem's so big. What can I do? Do your part.
You know, I believe God places you where you're most needed.
Yes.
I don't you know what I mean, I know religion and what you believe is a touchy subject, but unequivocally I know where I'm at, and I know that what He put in me as far as my abilities and my way to talk and bring forth information and give information, and that's why I work where I work. You know what I mean? That's why I'm qualified. You know what I mean? I qualified for doing that job, both my jobs. You know what I mean? It took some changing. It took re-educating myself. You know what I mean? I come from a family of educated people, smart people. Like I said, I dummied down to be a part of the negativity. You know what I'm saying? But once you find your calling, man, and like I know that why I'm here. You know what I mean? I know why I got shot up and couldn't run up and down a basketball court no more. You know, at first I couldn't accept it. You know what I mean? But I know that it's my job and my calling is to help these young men not lose their life. You know what I mean? And we can't give up. We just can't give up, man. And when I hear people say, I don't want to talk to, I don't want to get involved, you have, in essence, given up. You said you comfortable with this, what's going on right now.
Well, I think one thing I like to humbly say is that we need everybody to know that we don't have all the answers. So if somebody says, you know, well, these brothers on there, they think they know how to do this. No, we don't have all the answers.
But you're
In
looking
fact,
for
the people that you're probably not hearing from probably have better answers than us. The thing is, we put our egos aside and deal with the issue. The issue is the deaths in the streets. It's not about me. It's not about them. It's about the people that are dying in the streets out here. And to do that, we have got to eat humble pie and say we don't have all the answers. We're looking for people to help give us some.
And that's why we need their help. We need y'all help.
Need help.
We need your help because what we might be missing or not touching on, y'all can bring it to light. We need y'all help.
So let me ask you this question. Let's go from left to right. After all of this, because you know, after I did the Million Man March, I did the 10-year, and then I took part in the 20-year. Each from actually Chester was the Million Man, and then I took part. I went to the 10-year, and then I took part in the 20 from Wilmington. But each part was we were supposed to take from the march and put back into the community. I'm not sure who all did because I didn't hold them accountable. But moving forward, what do you want people to take from all of this that you have poured out and put back in? Like, what do you want them to get from you that you want them to regurgitate into others? or to something else?
All right, let me go. All right, so I want everybody to just hear me. All I want from each household is to start there. Get your house in order. Take care of your own children, your nieces and your nephews, your sons and your daughters. And if it ain't nobody there, then let the man next door come in. Let the brothers step up and do something every day to some young person, even to the older people that are hurting. They've lost their children. They're going through stuff. They need somebody to encourage them and tell them it's gonna be all right. They need a hug. They need a prayer. Whatever they need, within our own boundaries, within our own street, in our own neighborhood. We ain't gotta run across town to save somebody. Let's save those right near to us. And a lot of us don't even speak to our neighbors. Speak up to somebody. Let's change our attitudes. Let's change our stinking thinking and love somebody. You know what I mean? Let's love each other today. You know what I mean? Let's love start at home and our family. Before I go running over there telling, yeah, let's rally and love each other, and I hate my brother and sister, I don't even talk to them. Let's work on that. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we grow. We must grow from within to be an advocate for anybody else. Let's say it's not what we say we do, it's what do men say you did? What do people say you are? Who do they say you are? You know what I mean? So I'm just asking everybody to do something. Don't sit down. Don't sleep this one out. Don't play pass on this. Everybody get up and do something. I'm calling for the Philadelphia Anti-Violence Association. I'm calling for the Charles Foundation. I'm calling for Men United for a Better Philadelphia. Sultan Ahmed Foundation. I'm calling on all the brothers that I work with across this city to step up. And let's step out. Let's put that 10,000 together now. Let's come together. We've been trying this year after year after year. It's time to stop playing and take the next step up and do something. So I thank you for the time. I thank you for hearing me. But it's not what I do, it's what we do together.
About a few months ago, I don't know if you ever heard of Instagram and Facebook called No Gun Zone.
No Gun Zone.
And they had a gathering, and they asked all the activists in the city to come on out. And needless to say, it was a very disappointing turnout.
Wow.
Now, I found out about it when I was on the other side of the country. I wasn't even in Philadelphia. So if that's a reflection of how serious we are about this problem, then we're not serious enough. Now, I'm not judging anybody, and I'm going to take back what I said about people in suits. No slight on anybody in a suit. I just don't wear them. My point is this. We have got to put the egos aside if we're going to save our streets, okay? And we need to do it together. So if we all, what I would like is for everyone today that hears us or that can tell someone else, just take a second, go online. You can find a group in Philly that's trying to do what we're trying to do. Just find that group, put your name into the pool so people know you exist, and then let's see how big it grows. Because we can name names all day, but if you just listen to us, you're not writing them down, or if there's no place where you can go to make sure you got the numbers right, then it's kind of like a waste. So just put your name in the pool. No, go on Facebook. Believe me, if you really want to find a group that's doing something about what's happening out here, you can find it. So if you tell anybody you don't know nothing, it's because you haven't made enough effort. I'm sorry I have to say that, because I know the only way I connected with most of the people I've connected with, including this young lady here, is because I sought. And seeking, you will find.
What I would like for people to take from this is solidarity, community unity. I can remember when I was coming up, the playground was a safe haven. Kids can't even go to the playground no more. I want them to just take from what we have discussion we have and all the issues we talked about today to instill in our young people and our children that they are great, right? Let them believe in their greatness, tap into their greatness. I think that's what's missing. The old mantra, it takes a village. I believe we get that mentality back again. We talked about a lot of issues today, and a lot of things that's going on. But I believe the solution revolves around community unity.
And involvement.
Environment. You got to get involved. You can't turn a blind eye to the negative things that's going on and not speak out of it. One of the things that's going to stop what's going on right now in our communities throughout this city, right, in other parts of this country, right, is not being afraid to speak out, not being afraid to get involved, right. I think that's what needs to be done. Like Brother Jamal said and Uncle Joe said, we don't have all the answers. We need all the input, all the expertise, all the suggestions that we can get to make life worth a better way to live for everybody involved. It's just time for the senseless and unnecessary violence to stop. Households got to be more involved in their children's lives. Help them with the home, all that stuff, man. But also, I just want to say this because we didn't really touch on that issue a lot. Stop making guns so easy to get. That's a big issue. That's a bigger issue right now, and that comes from way above our what we do. But that needs to be addressed every time we speak. Every time we get an opportunity to speak to somebody that's a politician or in charge, we need to find a way to stop making guns so readily available. I couldn't get a gun that easy when I was that young. It's kids 14 and 15 years old with guns bigger than them. Where they get them from? So I just want people to take away community unity, man. Solidarity, man. Get involved. Community involvement. That's what I want to take from this.
Well, you heard it right here, Philly Hot Radio. Yeah, 3 astounding young men, brothers in the community, doing what they do to help stop this flood of blood and violence sweeping our streets. And they all have their different ways of doing it, but one thing they all have in common is their passion about the community and their willingness to do something about it. We don't want to be bystanders, as Professor Yumi always said. We can't be bystanders in our own existence. We're going to have to be participants. Voyeurism is not an acceptable means right now. We have to do something about what it is we see. So, if you can, you get out there, find your group, find your organization, and this is not a monolithic thing.
That's right.
If you sing, we're not going to ask you to dance. If you dance, we're not going to ask you to sing. If you're a plumber, we're not going to ask you to fix the car. And if you're a mechanic, we're not going to ask you to get underneath our sink. So don't let anybody tell you what to do. Like the brother said, we all have gifts. We all have talents. Find that gift, find your talent, find that thing that suits your personalities, your means, and get out there and employ that for the betterment of our community, to do something to stem this tide of violence. And God willing, all of us working together, we can make a difference.
I really don't. I believe. Well, here's the thing. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I don't expect somebody that can fix a car to come and fix my daggone pipe, but you can get involved in some kind of way. If it's nothing but flick the lights on outside, if it's nothing but calling somebody and say, okay, yeah, you got all these organizations, call them up and say, hey, but you can't, but please, you're not going to, I refuse to believe that there are on the average 10 houses on the block, 20 houses capped, and no one's seen and or heard nothing. But you the first one to be on the phone talking about you. Well, brother man across the street, he just got his. Well, that girl over there. But you saw all the negatives, all that stuff that has nothing to do with saving a life. But when it comes down to it, absolutely, positively nothing. You became the what is it, 3 monkeys? Don't see nothing, don't hear nothing, you don't know nothing except for the stuff that you shouldn't be talking about. All the stuff that's going on, there's a lot that you can be doing. So let me ask this last question. I got 3 fine brothers up in here doing some magnificent stuff. I know I can vouch for brother man Jamal Johnson. That I can attest to. But how do they find you? Or if they wanted to reach out to you, they want to pour a financial donation, they want to be a part of your organization, they want to come and volunteer. How do they come and reach out to you?
Real Men Saving Lives. My IG address is Cloud130962. My Facebook is Derek Brown. My email is Ashby, ASHBY, 119-114 at gmail.com. Reach out to me. I can use your help. We can use your help.
Jamal on Facebook, Jamal Johnson SKU. That's Stop Killing Us, SKU. That's my Facebook page. You can also call me at any time at 267-271-9661. That's my number. I'm giving it out because the bottom line is, whatever it takes to connect with me, to get you involved, I would like to get you involved. And not only on this level, because we're multifaceted people, so there are other things that I get involved in I would love to share, maybe at another time. But on this situation here, please contact me, and I guarantee you I will connect you with somebody so you can be involved.
You can contact us at the Jarrell Christopher Say Love and Laughter Foundation on Facebook. And all our information is right on there.
Say that name one more time.
Jarrell Christopher Say Love and Laughter Foundation.
And just to be clear, Jarrell is spelled Jarrell, 2 L's, Jarrell.
Well, I thank y'all for coming out here. We did have, at the last minute, I had a young lady that said she wanted to come out here. And then I got hit half an hour before the time. She couldn't make it. So it was going to be actually a female. I was like, yeah, because she does some stuff. We did she did the March for Our Lives Philadelphia, and I have no idea who the lady was, but she hit me up on social media, said she wanted me to come. I went to the thing, and then the next day I wound up going to Harrisburg from Chester, because Chester was doing their thing. But awesome lady, shame that's why the chairs were out there, but a lot of people that were supposed to have came didn't show up. But I was always told the most important people that were supposed to be there were there. So y'all were here, so y'all were the important ones. But I thank y'all for coming out here. Before we leave, is there anything you would like to share with us?
If I may, Stop Killing Us March, August the 7th to the 28th. The exact place we're starting from has not been determined. This is the third one, and it will start at a place, unfortunately, where someone is either killed by police or community violence. That's the spots that we start from. Thank you.
And I would just like to thank the brothers that are part of my organization and are willing to pour everything they have into it. Lamont McLaurin, William Wingate, Harold Hall, Joseph Irvin, just to name a few. Very supportive, share my vision, and I just want to give them a shout out and tell them we getting ready to start this war for peace. War for peace.
That's what I'm talking about. It's a war. Yeah,
these are my young boys. I know I got them. I got him, and I got the gang. I got them.
Got us.
And I'm asking everybody else to show up for me on April the 23rd at the Darrell School, 57th and Vine Street. And we're going to escort our children in. And immediately following after that, I'm going to have a memorial for my son's 8th year that I lost my son. And I ask all my brothers that know me, Uncle Joe, Jose, whatever you call me, to come and stand with me. Come and be with me on that day, April the 23rd, 8 to 8:30 in the morning. And there's an early one. Come if you can, and if you can't make it, pray for us. That we continue to do great things together, and that we come together in our community. If you can't come out and do something, then pray for the brothers that's on the front line.
Yes.
Thank you.
I do have one more thing I want to say real quickly.
Yes.
And I'm also at Barry School every Wednesday. So if you have a child that's troubling right now in your household, Real Men Saving Lives is mentoring at Barry School. Contact me so I can give him him or her some special attention.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. I really appreciate y'all coming out here. I really do. I appreciate y'all taking the time to come out and share. Big or small, whatever it is you're doing, it is enough. It is important. It's vital. It's essential. And if no one didn't tell y'all, I'm gonna say thank y'all, because you're doing stuff that normally the other person wouldn't do. I love when people say, "Hey, there's something going on," and the first thing they say is, "I got things to do." But tell me what happened after that. Don't call my phone and ask me what happened. If you was there, you knew what happened. I don't like when people do that. That's a poor excuse of, nothing. Yeah, like but if I tell you it's this concert coming up, you was staying in line 2-3 hours for them new Jordans, that those tickets out there for Cardi B, but I can't get you to come to something, and it's only maybe half an hour, 45 minutes. Come on now, y'all. But anyway, I appreciate whatever it is y'all doing out in the community, trying to make a difference, making a difference. Every little bit counts, and you're putting your life on the line because somebody is not liking it. But I thank y'all for tuning in. Next week we have drum roll, please. We have some interesting stuff, but I have, as of today, been promoting, well, for months I've just been promoting a lot of comedy shows. A few people had allowed me to come onto their show, and in exchange, I've been promoting it. So I can get in there and I get the interview and I get to meet with everybody. Well, today, one of the promoters hit me up and asked me to be a part of it. Moving forward, December, we're working on securing a venue and bringing in, my suggestion was bringing in D.L. Hughley, and I figure you can't bring in D.L. Hughley without T.K. Kirkland, because T.K. Kirkland opened up the door for D.L., and if you're going to bring them, then you might as well bring Ali Sadiq, because those three are like tight as white on rice. So, you available?
Yeah, I can take off one of my jobs, I'm sure.
Okay, well, that was the funny part right there. Okay.
Told you I was funny.
So at least we got him. He can stand at the door, but yeah. So I'm proud of that. So I'm picking up some other stuff that I want to share, but I can't share. But I have 3 awesome gentlemen right here that I'm so grateful that took the time to come on here to share some magnificent, awesome stuff that they're doing within the community. I'm asking, I implore y'all that, hey, our young men are out here dying, and before we decide to wake up and realize there is no us because us are out here killing us, we need to start doing something besides the negative and start pouring into at least one of these 3 organizations some positive. So reach out to these brothers, call them up, hit them up. They shared all their information with you. Hey, don't be acting scared. I can't do Medea voice, but get out here, play your part, because at the end of the day, like one of the brothers man said, like, we don't want to wait until it's your family, and then you want to do the protesting and the marching, and then you want everybody to come out and help support your cause when we're asking you to help collectively support everyone's cause. So every matter of life matters out here. So I thank y'all for listening, for tuning in, and you have anything you want to?
No, you pretty much said it all. In fact, I'm ready to go on home and get me something to eat.
Okay.
Thank you, Philly Hot listeners. It's been a while since I've been here, but I'm back from job number 4, and hopefully I'll see you all soon.